Hello guys and welcome to GA Flying. Today we are in Paro in Bhutan, so very close to the Himalaya mountains, and we'll be flying to Kathmandu, which is the capital of Nepal, which is also pretty much in the Himalaya mountains. So the Learjet will be the perfect plane for it, and there is a reason why I have chosen this plane again. Because it has received like a very significant patch that has overhauled a lot of the interior. And also before the last patch, there was like a prior patch that has also changed a lot of stuff in the plane. So I just want to revisit it and show you all of the changes. Okay. Let me start with showing the path for today. Okay, so obviously we will be using some additional waypoints, so it won't be that easy. But as you can see on the right side, we'll pretty much see the Himalaya, right? When it comes to the airports that we will be using, Bhutan is custom, but it's included in the sim, so everybody gets it. And Kathmandu, that will be the destination airport, is an airport that I have downloaded from Flightsim.to, and I will link it in the description. It's probably the airport with the most additional files that you have to download. So it was a lot of work to make it work, but we will discuss it and I will showcase it once we reach it. So maybe let's start with showing you the changes that I have mentioned. So just a second. As always, I have prepared like a short file for you, so I can just close this one. So let's start with the update from February the 7th that I haven't shown you. So one additional thing, one totally new thing is that Flysimware has introduced a new tool, so a new program included with the plane that will have to be used to assign bindings to the plane. Most of the normal bindings are working normally, so you can just use MSFS for them, but some of those bindings, including some of the custom ones that I was using, will need to be done through this program. So for some people it will be better, and for other people it will be more work, sadly. Okay. They have updated the maximum weights for passengers, because I think like initially it was 150 pounds, and many people said that nowadays people are heavier, so now they have changed it to 250. And I do remember this discussion on the Discord. It was pretty funny. So the behavior of the spoilerons was changed, because apparently it was not very realistic. And one additional thing that I really wanted to see is that now the engine sync switch is working, because before you couldn't even switch it despite it being part of many of those checklists for this plane, right? So it's pretty much like the prop sync, right? But in this case it's like the jet engine sync. Okay, so the effect is not as pronounced, and in this case it's enough, so nothing happens. It's just like for your satisfaction that you can flick it, because according to the developer there is just no code base to include it for a jet engine yet. Okay, in the sim. So other stuff, vertical stabilizer icing effect. So this is something that I had in every plane, in every flight, that pretty much I had ice here. Okay, and it shouldn't happen, so this was fixed. It was even visible in my prior video with the plane, maybe you have noticed. Okay, and this is the newest update now. So as you can see, approximately 20 to 40% of the interior cabin was redesigned. So we will take a look at all of those points, okay, later. So there has been a change with the app for this plane. So let me just show you. So this is this one. So this will no longer appear when you are using a different plane. Which is like a functionality that I think is native to Sim Update 5, but I'm still on Sim Update 4. Okay. And they have also changed the maneuver button. So this button on the yoke that allowed you to disable the autopilot for a second, just so you could readjust the attitude and then enable it again. Okay. So before it was giving you a sound like the autopilot would be off, but apparently this is not realistic and the sound was removed. So actually for me that's kind of sad, because I like the sound, because then I knew for sure that my binding is working. And this is also one of the bindings that you have now to assign through this additional software. Okay? And this is pretty much it. So the main thing is the redesign of the interior, lots and lots of places, and I will show it all to you. Plus this new software that you will need to use for some of the bindings. Okay, and with this, I think we can start the walk around. Just a second. Okay. And one important thing, because I have seen many discussions about this plane lately that were saying that it has no failures and no wear. This is actually not true. It has both wear, well, a little bit limited, but still more than other planes, and a pretty comprehensive failure system. So this is also something that I will show to you. But before we start, let's just start with the walk around. So I don't want the chocks, I don't want the pitot cover. And now we can check the status of the struts, if I can move close enough. Come on, plane. I was just doing it today. Okay, so let's start with the tires then. And here you can see it works. Okay. And for the strut, it was also working. I just need to find... Oh, now it's working. Okay, it's also fine. It's good to see that it's green because my prior landing was a little bit hard. Right? So I want to make sure that everything is fine. Okay. And obviously we are not in carrier mode. Okay, so the interface is the same that you know possibly from the carrier mode, but in this case it's not. This is the variation of the plane that I haven't flown yet. So this is the one with the very long fin tanks, right? Tip tanks that give it like a range of, I think, 2,400 or 2,500 nautical miles. So as we cannot change the registration number, I just assumed that it would be more realistic for the long range to be here in Bhutan, right? Because sadly it needs to stay as a US registration. Okay, let's check the flaps. If we weren't overspeeding them too much, but the condition is fine. And we can remove this one. Those come from GSX, I think. They are not part of the plane. Okay, so let's also check this one, but I think you check both at the same time. Yep. Okay, and here you can see the beautiful Bhutan buildings. Pretty nice for a free airport. Okay. And let's also get rid of this one. And let me just inspect it here. Okay. So right tire, fine, brake, fine, and strut, also fine. I have around 11 hours, I think, on this plane, so it's pretty new for a plane. Okay, and now we can turn off those tooltips because we won't need them. And flight interface, and this one. Okay, so only for the walk around. Now we can get it. Okay. And now let's just close this behind us, and you can already see there's a totally different texture, much more high risk here in the interior. Okay, let's close this one. Now let's close it here. Okay, now we need the motor to pull it to us. Now we can close it, and now we can turn off the motor, because otherwise we will get like a red light when it will be still working. So as you can see, no passengers. So let's, oh, what did I click here? This is concerning. I'm not sure. Maybe we have the covers back on for the engines. So let's take a look if we didn't mess anything up. No. Okay. I would like to avoid like burning the engines because of this. Okay. So aircraft, and I want seats, and let us add some people. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this new 2024 interface, but I mean, it works. Yes, please. Okay. And so as I said, those people are kind of ugly. I mean, I mean, the models are ugly. The people are fine. And I did change the settings for the... Oh, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, okay. The ones that spawned now are pretty nice. Okay, so in my last flights, I got some ugly models because it's also a little bit random. Okay, and as you can see, this is also new that it starts closed. So this is also something that was not the case before the last patch. Okay, and with this, let's go into the cockpit. Some strange view stuff. Let me just turn off the yoke and let's prepare the plane. So this time I will not use the standard checklist, but I have found like a great article from a real pilot, and he has his own checklist, right? So let's just do this one. Just a second. Let me close the stuff that I don't need. Okay. Okay, so battery 1 and 2. Okay, primary inverter and secondary inverter, autopilot master here, radio altimeter here, standby battery as the emergency battery, it's on standby. Okay, avionics master, yaw damper, we are only like activating the system, not the yaw damper itself. Okay. The radar is on standby. I'm not sure if we even have the standby function. No, it can be just on or off. Okay. AC or heat as required. So let's just see 12 degrees Celsius. That's okay-ish. So we can just leave it. Standby gyro, and this is something that I think, oh, now it works. Okay, last time it wasn't working for some reason. Okay. Auxiliary hydraulic pump, adjust to deploy the flaps. Okay, so here, and let's see if it will work. I think in some version the hydraulic pump wasn't fully working, so let's just see. That's a strange sound for being outside, but okay. Okay, parking brake is set, and now we can disable the hydraulic pump. Okay. And this is the checklist from the pilot, and now we can do a little bit of a pushback. So let's not do the full GSX pushback because it takes ages, but let's just use the standard functionality of MSFS. So Alt P, right? Just a couple of meters to not collide with anything, and Alt P again, and now we can. Oh, I think I need the hydraulic pump again. This is a problem that I think is connected to my rudder pedals, that sometimes there is noise on the pedals and it's hard to not get any noise, so it will be possible to do it. But either way, we were able to. So one thing that will be totally new for me is the PMS that I have installed today. Last time we were just using the standard Garmin 530, I believe. Okay, so this time, for the first time, I will be using this one. I think I had it in the past in 2020, but I was only checking it out for a very short time. Okay, okay, and with this we can get the beacon light. Okay. I'm not used to this camera system of MSFS because I was using chase plane for too long that isn't doing all of this jumping around between the views. Either way, let's see the passengers and we can start, I think. Let me just take a look outside if we don't have the covers. No. Okay. Let's just observe the engine parameters here. Oh, sorry, here. Okay. And we have the button here. As I said, there are failures, right? So let's just observe it. Yeah, the engine sounds are really good. Okay. Now we can switch it to generator. Okay, we can listen outside. Yep, this is really nice. So now let's do the same with the other one. So this is N1, this is N2. It's kind of strange. This is how it is, okay? And now the second one. And you can see the ignition is going on itself, right? By itself. I think those might be my favorite jet sounds, right? Okay, also let's flick it to generator. Let's go to the lights. It's a two-people plane, right? So everything is like far from you when you are a single pilot in this case. Okay, let's slowly prepare for taxi. Let's see if we have everything here, because like the workflow is different than the standard one, so I want to make sure that like nothing was missed. Okay, everything seems fine. Yep, so we can already tune in the altitude that we will be cruising at. So I would like 31,000, so let's do a little bit more, so somewhere here. Oh, and I think this was saved from the last flight. Yeah, because there is some state saving, okay? So normally it would start without the cabin air, which is pretty much the pressurization, but also the heating system is working based on it, okay? So normally it would be on off. Okay, so state saving, as you can see, is also part of the plane. We can make it a little bit hotter. Okay, bleed is on by default in this plane. Obviously, if you don't change it, then forget it, right? Okay, so now let's tune in the barrow altitude, I mean the reference, right? So 30.04. Okay, and once again, our cruising altitude. Here we can click to change to thousands, and then it's much faster. So this is also my favorite one from the jets, right? Because it's so convenient to set up just by the thousands. Okay, nice. And we can obviously provide our flight plan. So let me just use this one. Let me open the file that I have prepared. It's very easy plan, so it shouldn't take long. Okay, just a second. Oh, that's interesting. This I think one waypoint is missing, so just give me a second. For some reason it disappeared from the flight plan. I don't know why. Maybe I was creating too many flight plans. Okay, and let me see. Yeah, it was called Pro. That was missing. Is it Pro or PRD? Pro. Okay, and I will just show you in a second. Sorry for this one. Okay, yep. Okay, so this one was missing from my file, and now we can proceed. So I'm using the free version of this PMS 750 that you are seeing here now. I am considering paying for the full one, but I'm not convinced yet, so we will see. Boomly. Okay, and now the approach. Let me also add the destination airport, so like this. Yeah, this is for sure like super convenient. The only problem with this one is that the free version doesn't have the descent calculations, so something that you are getting in even in all of those like free Garmins and stuff. So this is something that I'm really missing in this plane. Okay, now the procedure, the arrival, and I think I want this one. Yep. Okay, do I want a transition? No, there is nothing. This is fine. Load arrival. And now the last one, procedures approach, and we will be doing a totally crazy approach. You will like it if I will be able to do it with the transition egress. And let me just show you why I think this will be fun. So actually I was flying it yesterday, but I was flying it with the Garmin 530 that didn't have this approach at all, because it's an RNP approach, so I had to fly this loop by hand, which is also pretty fun. But now it seems like this device, like those avionics, have this approach here. So we'll be coming from here and doing such a loop here. Might be difficult because it's hard to stabilize this plane on very short approaches like here. So maybe the landing won't be very good, but like we will see. At least it will be fun. Okay, load the approach, and let's see if everything is fine. So Tumli, Kimti. Oh, I think it's actually wrong, because this shouldn't be here. It should be at the very bottom. Okay, so let me just remove it. Remove. Yep. Okay, so once again, Tumli. Oh, come on, did it remove everything? No, I was just setting it up. I was training before the video. It seems like I have messed it up. Okay, so let me just... Okay, so like this. Yeah, obviously for people that are using those avionics all of the time, this is for sure funny. Once again, VM. Okay. Well, come on, it was working so nicely last time when I have done it. I think I have set it up correctly, just misinterpreted how it was displayed, but let's try it again. And this. Okay. I think it is fine. Yep. Or maybe like this approach is like faulty in some way. We can always check, right? Because we have this nice map here. Also very convenient because you can zoom in a lot, right? And you can see how to taxi. Let's just see how it looks like. I mean, yeah, exactly. So this is also cool, especially for flying like in the mountains. Okay. Okay, that's a lot of waypoints, but this is pretty much what we will be doing. Yeah, so it seems to be correct. Yeah, so sorry for the additional chaos. Was not needed. Okay. And with this, let me... this view is so strange. Okay, so let's click here to have this attachment for our tablet, right? And let me get the checklist then. Okay, before taxi, avionics are set, radar is in standby, circuit breakers are okay, windshield not yet, anti-skid is okay, passenger briefing is okay and signs are okay, no smoking, parking brake release. Okay, so one important thing is that I had like a binding for the nose wheel steering, which is also here. But sadly, nowadays with this system, it needs to be bound through this system. And this is something that I haven't done yet. Okay, so I will have to click this one to get nose wheel steering, and it's here. So in general, I'm not a fan of having to do it through an external system, but I understand probably for people that had like more advanced hardware and stuff, there were a lot of issues with the other systems, so maybe for them this is better. Okay. Either way, I think we can taxi. So the sounds are really, really great. I guess I wanted to taxi the other way around, but still, I mean turn the other way around just to avoid any collision. So here you can see the temple here, pretty cool. But as with all of those free 2020 sceneries that we have received, there are some problems with the elevation, right? Because it seems like the logic of the elevation files has changed. from 2020 times. So here it's not that visible, but like when we would go up with the camera, we would see that some of those roads here look buggy and stuff, but still, like for a free airport at the end of the world, this is pretty cool. Here you can see the elevation. Okay, let me just make sure that we do have a taxiway here. Yes, so there should be a taxiway. That I won't have to go back. And let's set up the curse here already that we will need. Sadly, as far as I know, there is no way to do it faster. I mean, even if this is how it looks in the real plane, I would really like if they would like change it in the sim for convenience sake, add some acceleration or something, or maybe an option to like center it simply. Okay, let me take a look. Yep, this is fine. Was there no hold short line? Yeah, so let's just hold here. Okay. And let me just do the next steps. Okay, so brakes is okay, fuel is okay, thrust is fine, fine. Do we have our flaps? Yeah, we have it on 8 degrees, which is the standard setting for most takeoffs. Okay. Okay, so now we can do the calculations for the takeoff. So it's nice that we have it here. So takeoff page, this one. We have the long tip tanks, okay, so this needs to be changed. We will be using flaps 8, okay. Now we can get the data, and let's just set it up. So pitch trim needs to be on 6 degrees, so this is here. Plop, 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 plop. Oops, too much, so too little, too much. Okay, so it's somewhere here, okay. N1 97.9, so we can just set it up here as a reminder. Okay, is it 97.9? Yeah, okay. And rotate will be 1 to 5, so we can just set it up here. Okay. Flaps retraction 160. Okay, we'll try to remember it. Runway distance is enough because we have 7,000 feet in this case. Okay, so let me check if everything is fine here. We should have around 3,000 pounds for this flight, so this is also fine. Everything seems fine. Okay, so let's go back to the checklist. We can turn on the radar. Okay, to weather, fine. Okay, enough equipment set. We can already prepare the lights. I'm always forgetting about the recognition light. Okay. Trim's okay, pressurization is on, it's fine. Cabin temp 19 degrees, it's also fine. Anti-ice we don't need yet, but we can, I think, Pitot heat goes on the lineup checklist that we'll be doing in a second, I think. Okay, and you can already turn on the windshield heat, but once again, this is a free position switch, so if you put it to on, it will go up until it reaches 100% and will overheat, right? So you just turn it on and count like 4 seconds, and then change it to hold. And now it should have around 40-50% like power, right? Because with 100 it overheats really quickly. Okay, let me just see, stall warning will be on the lineup. Okay, so let's just line up. Yeah, the engine sounds are really amazing. can hear the wheels. Wow, this is pretty steep. It's good that we are going the other way around, because from what I could see there are also like, you can also depart the other way, but that's too much. Yeah, and those textures have also changed, but as I said, during the flight we'll just do a walk around through the inside and check all of those points that they have like listed as being changed. Yeah, the visibility from this one is really great. Yep. And let's do the last points. Okay, transponder. So in this case, it's here, and I need it to on and to altitude reporting. Okay. This is fine. Pitot heat on. Okay, thrust reversers to armed. If we would need to reverse, like abort the takeoff, okay. Stall warning goes to on. Ignition goes to on. And the annunciator panel has only steering and windshield heat. Okay, so altitude is set. Let's get the flight director here. Okay. To takeoff mode. So let's talk about the climb. So what this real pilot was recommending is looking at temperature, direct climbing with around 800 degrees here. Okay, so this is pretty much what we will be trying to follow. And then we will switch obviously to nav. Is it set to GPS? Yes, it is. I still need to get used to this new device here. And then we will probably use vertical speed or maybe speed. So once again, the real pilot said that they are most of the time climbing with 250 knots. Okay? So this is also something that we will be aiming for. This looks so strange, I need to get used to this one, but it should be fine. So the track is 145, okay. Okay, seems nice. Okay, so I guess, whoa. Okay, let me just also close this one. Can I close it? I don't want the passengers to look. Here? Here? I don't want to open the door, right? Is it? Oh, come on. Oh, maybe from the other side. No? Here? Oh, okay, okay. So let's get back in. Nice, nice, nice. I like all of those details. Okay, and here we can already prepare after takeoff, because there is also a lot of work after the takeoff. Oops. I'm missing chase plane when it comes to those situations. And I guess we can just start. Okay, positive rate, gear up, flaps up. Let's try to keep 800 when it comes to the temperature. Okay. Okay, let's change to enough. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Let's slowly enter the turn so we don't fly into any mountains. Actually, I was checking Navigraph for charts, but there is no departure chart from here, which is concerning, I would say. With those mountains, especially since this is like an international airport. Okay, so let me turn on the yaw damper. And sadly this doesn't change, right? So we need to look at the desired track here, 241. Obviously if we would be on autopilot it would turn by itself, but we wanted to avoid those mountains in this case. Okay, so let's just turn here. Okay, so auto thrust can be disarmed if I can click it. Okay, flaps up, ignition is off. Pressurization, we are pressurizing, landing lights can go off. Okay. Okay, and with this, let's just move the nose down a little bit because we want to climb with 2250, right? Let me just reduce the power a little bit. Okay, we can also change it later. So let's engage the autopilot with nav and with speed hold for now. Okay, let it stabilize so we'll be able to set up everything that we need. Here we can go out. Nice, nice, nice. And this should nicely follow it. And as soon as it settles on the course, we will also adjust the speed a little bit. That's saying we are pretty close to our cruising altitude in this case. Okay, so once again, landing gear up, yaw damper engaged, those are disarmed, flaps are up, ignition is off, landing lights off. So I made a small mistake here because actually the lights were on taxi, because it's also like a free position switch, right? And not on landing on the highest setting. Okay, and now we can adjust the attitude here to accelerate a little bit. We can also add some power, I see. Will it move? maybe not. So maybe you will need to help a little bit. So to get rid of the vertical mode, you cannot just click on speed, you have to click on vertical speed and turn it off. And now I have some bindings that allow me to move the attitude, so this attitude indicator, this flight director, up and down, okay? So I'm moving it down now. Just to lower the nose, so we will be able to pick up some speed. Okay. 250, speed hold. It's always a little bit violent in this plane. I'm not sure how realistic it is, but still, it holds. Okay. So the button that I have used is, let me show you. Well, so those are those two that I have bound, and you don't need this additional software for it, okay? And we can use this one. Should be nicer. Okay, and it seems to be working. Okay, let's see what can we change. Obviously, let's change the Paro here to 992. A lot of work during the climb. Recognition lights are no longer needed. Bloop. Air conditioner, we were not using it. Oxygen pressure seems to be fine here. It kind of repeats here. The checklists are not very good. Okay. And I'm not sure why we would don like crew passenger oxygen mask. Okay, so this is really strange. But either way, we are close to the cruise, so let's check it. Okay, so what they are talking about is fuel management, and this is something that we can actually do. Because we do have the fuselage tank that has some fuel in it, so we want to get rid of it, we want to use it, because it's not possible for the engines to feed from it, right? So it needs to be moved to the... this just tells us that we are close to the cruise altitude, okay? So this is here. Okay, and it will slowly feed the wing tanks. That will be feeding the engines in this case. Okay, so let's take a look at everything that we have here. Oh, come on. Okay, too much talking, not enough aviating, okay? So I needed alt select, right, for it to catch 31,000 feet. That's saying it will try to catch it now. Okay, and once again, 283. It's the desired track here. And we are turning on it. Yeah, there is so much work, like with, especially during the climb with everything here, especially if you are also talking. Okay, so sorry for this. Obviously, even before takeoff, make sure alt select is selected, so it will also capture the altitude that you have tuned in here, right, for the climb. Okay. The only thing that I'm afraid of is that we have no descent calculation here. But let me see. According to SimBrief, we should be descending below Tumli and Kimti. Okay, so let me just take a look here. Okay, so still a little bit off. Let me see if I can just get rid of some of the data here. So I don't need the VORs. No. Yeah, let's just keep airports for now. Yep, looks better then. So according to the pilot, it's like even normal to descend with this one with like 4,000 feet. But this is probably something that we will not do, but we could. Okay. Yeah, we are still close to capture this one. I just wanted to see what the cruise setting was that was mentioned by him. So 600 pounds per hour per side. So this is the fuel flow, right? So 600 is probably here. Is it? It's 5, 6, no, it's probably here. Okay, so let's try this cruise setting then. Okay. Let's take a look outside. So here we have the Himalayas, right? The Himalaya mountains. And here we have our oversized fuel tank. It really looks strange, but also a little bit cool. And here we can also see the new textures, right, that were being mentioned. So in a second we will just go over all of them. Okay, so let me just see. This seems fine. So we could descend a little bit to try to capture the altitude that we have selected, still not captured. So I guess I can do it now. So we don't have any vertical modes, so I can use my settings here, right? The two bindings that I have shown you that are allowing you to move the flight director, and with it the altitude of the attitude of the plane. Okay. Too much talking, sorry guys. So this is new. Those textures are new. Let me just bring up the list, so it might be easier then. Here. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, the new rack mesh with highly detailed stitching. Okay, so let's take a look. I think it will be best visible. Let's just open this one. Where is the click spot? Probably here. Okay, nicely. Okay, and let's take a look around. I mean, it looks okay. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, this is the carpet, but I think this is what is meant here. How's the stitching? I mean, okay, high fidelity stitching. That's nice. So the next point is wall panels, leather, plastic, and structural surfaces. Okay, so I would assume, let's just move here, that it's all of this leather here. Yeah, this looks pretty okay. Looks better than before. Also those textiles here. Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I don't have a problem with it. Emergency door. Whoops, no clicking. They have made it uglier but closer to the reality. I have seen like a comparison. This was just very generic here, and now it's ugly but very realistic. Okay, so this is great. Okay, wood walls. So they have changed some nice views. Okay, so they have changed the wood inside. It's like I think a different kind of wood than the other before. It's like brighter than the pretty dark one that was used before, and you can see a lot more detail on it, which looks nice. Okay, fire extinguisher. Okay, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, so here. It's not so easy. Pretty tight in here. Okay, a very quality fire extinguisher. That's nice. Cabin audio jacks. Okay, cabin sidewall textures, and oxygen pressure gauge. Okay, so this is pretty much what like this cameras and MSFS. Okay. So this is new, and it really looks new. It looks really high quality. All of the walls here are new. Instrument light knobs. Okay, so this is this one. Yeah, I mean, okay, looks very good. And what they have said, like in the end, is that also the cargo version that is included and the medevac version are updated, and I have also checked them out before. and they are pretty cool. That saying, I'm not a very big fan of both of those like versions because there isn't that much difference in the plane itself, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel this jet as a cargo jet or as the medevac version, especially since in the medical one the changes are like very small. It's pretty much some seats removed and this medical bed inserted, so not that much. I just enjoy it more to ferry passengers here, and the passenger cabin is the best looking pretty much. Oh, and this like table surface is also updated from what I remember, from what I have seen, because they have also recorded like a short video showcasing those visual differences. Yeah, so this is pretty nice. Oh, and this overhead is new. I have also seen it like on the video. Here, this is probably the biggest change because it has it had the same color as here, and the definition of all of the parts was pretty much worse than it is now. So this one looks great. Yes, I think the cabin is amazing. And here we can see the majestic mountains. Nice, nice, nice. Oops, this one is... Yeah, some very nice views. We can go outside. I just need to make sure it will be not too loud for you guys. So let me just throttle it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm afraid during the takeoff, the engine might have been too loud and you might have had problems with hearing me. So sorry for that. If it was the case, I will try to improve for future videos. There's just so much work with this plane that it's easy to forget something, okay? Let's just take a look here. Yeah, so sadly with MSFS, if something is like very far away, the definition of the terrain is not so high, so you can see it's kind of round-ish, okay? But still, it looks pretty impressive, especially with this like wide view here that we can enjoy. And with this, let's go outside. Let's take in some of the views. Hey, a little bit too fast. Yeah, so I think it looks really cool. Well, maybe not all liveries, but it's obviously like a matter of taste. And here we can see it has captured the target altitude that we have set. Okay, let me just see. So we'll probably have to descend in some time. How do I check it in those avionics? I just want the whole the whole distance to the destination. I can see. Okay, but I need the total. Can I get the total somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Let me just see. Probably not. I might get here. So distance is 106. Okay, but like it's in a straight line, and the approach will be around 12,000 from what I remember. Yeah, so like even the the most basic Garmin that we're getting for free has those calculations that allow you to very precisely go down exactly where you want to when you want to, but sadly, and this one, from what I could see on the list, this was like a premium feature that I would have to buy the subscription for, or the lifetime subscription, right? So maybe I will do it for the next flights. In this case, we will kind of start descending in the middle here, which should also be fine because it's a pretty long loop. And also, according to the pilot, there's a broad range of descent speeds possible with this one, so we should be able to adjust it once it will be needed. Okay, and with this, let me just see what's the... Yeah, so still 40 miles out. Yes, I think I will just jump to the moment of descent then. Okay, and see you then. Bye-bye. Okay guys, welcome back. So I actually decided to descend quickly because there are also some altitude restrictions that we have to meet. So it will be just easier if we will do it now. Okay, yeah, this is a great view. I really like it. This wing view looks cool. Okay, let me just go back here. So what do I want? I want here to go down. Okay. Here I want altitude select, and now with the flight director I will just move it down to reach a nice descent speed, a vertical speed, somewhere along the lines of here for now, 2500, and I'm just locking it as the vertical speed that I want to see. Okay, let's remove some of the power. Let's just set up the landing altitude, which funnily enough will be actually higher than the one that we have now, because it will be, I think, 5000. Let me just see. So the destination airport is at 4400, so we will just set up 5000. Okay, because obviously for the landing we are setting up the top larger number that we can see here. Okay, this camera really... Okay, either way, let's check the descent checklist. So windshield heat is on, field elevation we have set now, anti-ice system for now, no additional systems needed. Okay. And then when we will be passing the transition altitude in the United States, right? Then here we have some additional points. Let me just check the arrival that we have set up. Okay, so we just cannot be too low, but we can be higher. So this is the arrival that we'll be using. So we are already at Kimti, I think. No, still some time left, and we will not be below those, right? So there's no risk, I think. Still, we will try to manage it somehow. And then here we will start this very strange approach with this loop here. So actually, when I was doing it manually, it was a lot of fun and it was working pretty fine. I'm not sure how the autopilot here will fly it. For sure, we will not be able to adjust the curves here quickly enough, but it's only like a visual aid, right? So we will be looking at this one. Still should be fine. I can see some potential icing weather, so let's just... Here you can see that this is interesting. This is for the wing de-icing and the stabilizer de-icing, and when it's in red, then it's actually cold, which is not so obvious. As you can see, if we turn on the heating, it will move to green, which means this is the correct temperature, okay? And this means that it's actually too hot and it will overheat. So too cold, okay, too hot. I'm not sure what the logic was when this was designed, but yeah, you just need to know it. Yeah, I think we can already turn on the recognition lights, because otherwise we will forget. Let's just burn some fuel. And for a moment, we can talk about the failures. So I'm not sure if all of them, but most of them are modeled, right? And there is also like a full failure system here. Let me just go back. Failure page. Okay, and I want to see all. It just loads for a second and it always seems like it's broken. Can I? Yeah. And you can see, here you can see the slider. It's like lots and lots of failures modeled. And the important part is that from what I think I know, from what I heard like on Discord and stuff, it's actually more advanced than the one in Black Square Plains, because the one in Black Square Plains is actually actually totally random, right? So the plane is not getting older in any way. It's just that depending on the chance for a system to fail, it might fail more often or not. And here it's more advanced. It actually looks if the parts are not getting older and older, and the older they are, the bigger the chances that they will fail, okay? So like the effect might be the same, you might not notice the difference, but there is a difference in logic, right? So this seems more realistic in a way, even if the like final effects might be very similar. Plus, it also does have this wear and tear regarding the gear and the flaps that I had shown you in the beginning. So once again, to clarify, because there are many discussions that say this has no failures, yes, it does. Okay? And also you can adjust the speed, right? For me, this is already a pretty difficult plane to fly still after those hours that I'm flying it. So I'm just keeping it at one time. Okay? Not to go too hardcore on this one. And we can already do the landing page. Okay. So sync from sim, the temperature there is, I think, 8 degrees Celsius, and the runway elevation was 4,400. Okay. So approach speed will be 126. Okay, so this is pretty much what we also had our rotation speed set to, so I will just leave the back here. And we will need around 5,000, but I think there's 10,000 at Kathmandu, I'm not sure anymore. But it's a long runway, right? So it shouldn't be a problem. Oop. Okay, and now we can for sure switch the recognition lights, right? Okay, let's just seat the passengers, and we forgot to unseat them. Okay. Luckily, it's a short flight, and they don't have a toilet either ways. Where would they go? Okay, so this is actually wrong. This should like tell you to set it to the destination barrow setting, right? Recognition light, no smoking. Okay, so this is fine. Let's check the approach. So V speeds, we have them already, but fuel should be balanced. We can take a look at the fuel. And let me just see. So first, the fuselage tank is empty, so we can turn off the pump. Okay. Wing 1, okay, is fine. Wing 2 is fine. They seem balanced. So, all fine. Let me just zoom in. Oh, this is terrifying maybe on this screen. In reality, it's not so bad. Okay, at egress, I would like to be at around 12,000, which I think we will be. We can even reduce the descent speed a little bit. So once again, I'm using the 2 secret buttons that I have shown you. And a V speed like this should be fine. I think we can even raise it even more. We just need a very shallow descent. Yeah, this is why I'm regretting not having like the descent calculator, because it's really difficult, right? To I mean, you do have this that it should be like 3 times the difference in altitude that you want to descend, and often it works. But if you have like a complicated arrival and approach with mountains and stuff, then you want to know exactly, right? And not just like more or less. So this is pretty much the only reason why I would consider paying for the more premium version of it, because there are also lots and lots of additional features, but like from the list that I have seen, I don't really care about most of them. Okay, and with this, let's just reduce the speed because we are very fast and we are nearing the 10,000, right? And we can also go engine de-ice. Seems to be some clouds here at the level. Okay, so let's take another look. You can even adjust it more precise because this is the exact altitude there. Let's make sure attitude select is on. It is. Okay. No bad weather. It's nice. Let's change to before landing. But there is still some time till we will start this loop here. So we can take a look around, I mean outside. Okay, so below us you could see like Asobo has forgot to buy some textures. There was one mountain without textures at all. And now I need to take a look because we are entering this crazy valley here. Okay. Okay, it's holding the current altitude, which is correct. And then at the end of the loop here, we will need to be at 8,000, I believe. Okay, let me just show it to you. Yep. And so we are entering through egress that is at 12,000. Okay, and then at 424, which is here, so almost at the end of the loop, we should be at 8,000. Okay, so let me just set up 8,000. Okay, it's nice, nice, nice. The heating is no longer needed. Let me just zoom in more. Actually, don't want to look at the airports anymore. So many airports. Okay. And we can start slowly descending. It will enter this crazy loop here. And so what do I need? Okay, so let's just lower altitude select. Okay, and let's just lower the flight director. And we can also remove some power so that it will nicely slow down. Okay, this vertical speed seems fine. I have no idea if we will succeed here, but we will see. It will be fun either way. I mean, just seeing this approach chart is cool. It looks like modern art here. And this is pretty much the loop that I was doing like yesterday, but like manually, and now the autopilot is doing it for us. Let's hope that the autopilot will be able to do it. Okay, so according to the pilot, they are going flaps 1, so like flaps 8 degrees, at 180. So in order to reach 180, I would probably need to take off all of the power. So let's do it. We also have air brakes, but the pilot said that most of the time they are not needed. So let's just say if we can do it like with 0 power, if it will be enough. Okay, so let's see before landing. Have you missed anything in the approach? No, seems fine. So in this like custom airport, this free Kathmandu custom airport, there is lots and lots like of additional objects that I have like downloaded with all of those additional packs, pretty much. So I just hope that we won't have any freezes and lags and stuff, because like with this fan-made stuff, sometimes it's not like perfectly optimized. So let's hope that this time it will be fine. And I think that I can take off this one, so you will be able to actually hear the plane. Let me see if it's not too loud. Seems fine. Yeah. It's pretty cool with the city here being between all of those mountains, so high up. Okay, let's just zoom in. I would like to have flaps, and I think I can. It's almost 180, so let's just do it. It will be easier to control the speed with those. Yeah, I really trust the autopilot here a lot. Let's just hope that this will be fine. Actually, the interesting fact is that the altitude for this part of the loop is not really published. This is the gear horn, so let's just add some power. And it goes away. So what I wanted to say is that it's not really published. It's just this point that has the first altitude published at 6,800, I think, here. But between the 12,000 and the 6,000, there is no altitude provided. So like, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Let's think for now. It seems like the plane is managing it nicely. Okay. So the next step. There's some nice textures here. Always when the light is shining this way from behind, you can see it all seems like have a higher resolution for some reason and like more definition, which is pretty cool. Okay, and just to not waste time on this very short approach that we will be doing, let's just turn everything on that we will be needing. So this is retracted, this is fine, engine sync off. Oh, we forgot, because it was not part of the checklist, right? It was not on, just off. So this is also what they have changed. Now you can like flip it, even if it's not doing anything. Okay. So let's just arm the thrust reversers. Prepare the ignition. Okay. Now we can get rid of it. Is it here? Yep. Nice, nice, nice. They have some great views here for sure. Let's just reduce the speed. Okay, and I can reduce the altitude slightly, because on this long line we will be supposed to go down to 7,400 from what I can see. Yup, so let's just make sure that we will do it. As you can see, no vertical mode other than altitude select, and I'm just using the flight director here. Okay, I think I need to reduce the power even more, because we are just not losing it. Oops. Gear horn. Actually, are we close enough? Yeah, we might be. So let's just do the next notch of flaps and the gear. And this way we will also get rid of the horn. Okay. And we can already set up baro altitude. Okay. It's actually here, lower than standard. Okay, losing a lot of speed. So let's just add some power. And now we will be descending. Here we have the path. So let me just set it up. Okay, and pretty much here we can start a shallow descent. Just altitude select, and let's go down. Let's hunt this path that we have here. Yeah, I'm really trusting the autopilot here. It was actually easier doing it like by hand, because then I could like directly control what I am doing. Windshield heat is no longer needed. Okay, nice. And I think it wants us to go down even more, so let's just increase the descent speed then. So you will be able to catch this one. Okay, nice. And this is pretty much the airport. We are hunting this glide path here. Everything seems fine for now. Not exactly the easiest plane to fly, so maybe not the best one for this very challenging approach, but I think it might be more fun for you guys to watch them. Okay. Whoops, some legs which are not helping, and flaps full. Oops, we are getting too slow. Okay, my plane. Let me just make sure I will get rid of the yaw damper and not crash doing it. Let's increase the speed and let's just prepare for landing. Wait. The turbulence is real with this one. The legs are also. Okay, brakes up, reversers up. Okay, reverses off. And we can vacate on this one. So this was like a very safe, firm landing. So this is something that I need to work on. Let me just get this steering, because sadly, as I said, my normal binding is not working. Do I have it? Just a second. Click. Okay, no. Okay, now we can take a look at this custom airport here, which took me lots and lots of work to download all of those libraries. So you can see lots and lots of detail, and this is also cool. Okay, so I think we have vacated, so let me just loop. And now let's see here and here. Okay. So after landing, stall warning off. Yep. Ignition off. Yep. Thrust reversers disarmed. Yep. Cabin air off. Yep. Anti-ice system. We don't need the pitot heat. Okay, lights as desired. So I want to change those to taxi lights. We don't need the recognition light, and we don't need the strobe light. And spoilers are retracted. Okay, no light, flaps up, flaps are up. Okay. Hydraulic pressure should be somewhere here. Here. Okay. It also seems to be fine. Unnecessary avionics. So I don't want the autopilot and the radio altimeter. Okay, and transponder can go to standby. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. And we can proceed. And so once again, I think I smashed it pretty hard, which is not unusual for this plane. It's the most important thing to keep it level, because there is a very big chance to hit the runway with one of the wings, with one of those gigantic tip tanks. So I think we were kind of even, so that this part was okay, but I would expect the force to be pretty high. and it should be displayed for you during the replay, so you already know. Okay. And let's take a look at all of the detail here, and then I will just also do like a camera flyover, I guess, just to show you some of the detail here. Yeah, they can see the Himalayas there. This is pretty cool. Okay. Okay, we can zoom in here just to... I just want to use all of the functions of this new avion. No, come on, no. No map. Okay, maybe because it's a custom map and this is why it's not showing. I'm not sure how it works, okay? But we can also always use our own map. So here. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay. Okay, so I think we will taxi a little bit more. Yeah, so this approach here is amazing. Like, even when it just comes to looking at the chart, it looks like pure art. So it's nice. I'm really happy with how the autopilot was flying it. Pretty much I wish I would be better at keeping the right speed, and also on the very last, like final approach, keeping the right altitude, because we kind of lost the glide path a little bit because I was, as always, talking too much and like showing stuff. So this is something that I could have done well, better, I guess. Still, I hope you have enjoyed this round. It's like pretty amazing with the first airport and the second airport. Very interesting places here. And very cool views. So let's get rid of this. And we can just, I think, park here. Okay. And let's go back to our checklist. I really like having this one here with the checklist. This is really cool. I do appreciate it. Okay, so shutdown. Parking brake set. Anti-ice systems are off. Emergency lights if installed. I don't think we have them installed. So avionics master, standby altitude here caged. Okay, thrust levers, emergency batteries to off. Okay, and thrust levers to cut. Okay, just wanted you to listen to those cool Boris sounds. I really need to get used to this camera, okay. So generator switches off. Here, inverters to off. Fuel transfer was on off because we have already turned it off before. Crossflow valve is closed. Beacon light and the other lights can go off. Okay. And then batteries, let's keep them, and I will open the door. So I think I have a hotkey for it. Yep. Now let me try to remember. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, I do remember. Okay, so no blamage today. Okay. And I think first I will go out with the camera because I wanted to show you the airport. So as you can see, lots and lots of objects everywhere. So this is probably why we had those like stutters. Even the motorcycles are unique. And I had to download all of them. Okay. This roof is pretty unique. I like it. And this is nice. Is there anything else? Actually, it comes with an additional folder that is providing improved photos, so aerial photos for this one. But I actually think the ones that come with the airport, are worse than the standard ones in 2024. So this is the part of the airport that I have not installed. Okay, so just one of the two folders. Like in the beginning, I installed two, but those photos here were looking pretty badly. So in the end, I decided for this one. Okay, and let's also take a look at some other detail. Pretty nice, a lot of effort here. Okay, lots of planes. Okay, even some unique ones. Nice, nice, nice. This part is not the best, so let's not look at it. Okay, and here we will also have some nice planes. And the views are great. When I was flying here yesterday, there was like some nice fog and some nice clouds here, so it was actually even more mysterious and like mystical looking. So this is pretty cool. Okay, but today we at least could see more than yesterday, because I had moments yesterday where there was like no visibility at all. Okay, and with this, let me just go back to my plane. Let's go back here. And this is it, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed the flight. I hope all of those changes in the plane were interesting. As I said, personally, I'm not a fan of this new program for bindings, because actually all of the standard bindings were working for me. But I understand this was mostly to help people that had like very advanced hardware and wanted to bind everything. So for them, this might be much better. For me, it's just like additional work. Besides, you don't need all of those. Pretty much everything that every function that I have used today was done without using this additional program. Right? So it's pretty much that you have to click this wheel steering, the steering wheel, like in the cockpit, instead of having a hotkey, and also that the maneuver option is not working, the one that lets you disable the autopilot for a second and enable it again after adjustment. So this is also pretty cool, and this is maybe the one that I'm missing the most. That's saying I pretty much used the flight director, the two flight director buttons instead of it, and I can show you again. Just so you know what I mean, those two, right? So we did it, we are alive, although I'm not sure what the vertical speed of the landing was, so maybe we are not, but still, thank you very much, and see you in future GA flying flights. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.